4 strategic exercises to develop a wider chest. It's amazing how many men have been training for years, but still can't properly develop the muscle they desire most, the chest. The worst part is, they train religiously and know the basic exercises, but they lack crucial anatomical knowledge about the chest fibers. And the result? A chest with little hypertrophy and extreme difficulty developing that wide shape that gives presence and imposing appearance to the physique. Today, to solve this once and for all, you'll see 4 strategic exercises that anyone can do, even beginners, to activate the right fibers and finally achieve a wider, more symmetrical chest with that impressive depth, even without a shirt. And no, we're not talking about complicated techniques. These are basic exercises, but well chosen, using anatomical knowledge as an ally. You just need to copy them and let time work. Before we begin, please leave in the comments your name and the city you're watching our content from. We'd love to know. Well, to start, you need to understand the basics of chest anatomy. Most men know that the pectoralis major muscle, which gives that aesthetic shape, is divided into 3 main portions: the upper portion, also called the clavicular portion, the middle portion, and the lower portion. Most people have difficulty developing the upper portion of the chest, the one that gives that complete look near the clavicles and creates a smooth transition between the neck and torso. That's why 2 of the exercises we'll see today focus specifically on this region. Now, the most important part, the chest is composed of different types of muscle fibers. Fast twitch fibers, type 2, which are responsible for strength and power, and slow twitch fibers, type 1, which provide endurance. For a truly impressive chest, we need to stimulate both types of fibers. The pectoralis major has a fan-shaped fiber orientation, radiating from the shoulder joint to the sternum and humerus. This unique structure is what allows us to perform horizontal adduction movements of the arms. But it's also why we need exercises at different angles to stimulate all fibers efficiently. When we understand and respect this anatomy, results appear much more quickly. Exercise number 1. Incline dumbbell flies. The incline dumbbell fly is one of the most efficient exercises to develop the upper chest, precisely the area most men have difficulty developing. When you perform this movement on an incline bench, you intensely activate the fibers of the clavicular portion of the chest, those that give that shelf appearance, a muscular shelf that projects the chest upward and outward. What makes this exercise so effective is the extreme stretch it provides. By opening your arms laterally with the dumbbells, you create significant tension in the chest fibers, especially at the origin and insertion of the muscle. It's this stretch under load that stimulates lateral growth, giving that impressive width when you're facing the mirror. Think of it as a rubber band. When you stretch a rubber band to the maximum and then release it, it responds with a powerful contraction. The same happens with the chest muscle during the incline fly. The deep stretch followed by controlled contraction creates the perfect stimulus for growth and development of chest width. To correctly perform the incline dumbbell fly, start by adjusting a bench between 30 and 45 degrees of incline. This, according to studies that considered hypertrophy, is the ideal angle to focus on the upper part. Lie on the bench with a dumbbell in each hand, arms extended above your chest with palms facing each other. This is your starting position. Now, maintaining a slight bend in your elbows, which is crucial, slowly open your arms in an arc movement, as if you were hugging a large tree. Lower, until you feel a comfortable but intense stretch in your chest. At the lowest point, you should feel a powerful stretch throughout your upper chest. To rise, consciously contract your chest as if you were squeezing something between your arms and bring the dumbbells back to the starting position in a controlled movement. The key here is maintaining constant tension in the chest. Don't relax at the top of the movement. You'll know you're doing it right when you feel an intense contraction in the upper part of your chest, near the clavicles. If you feel your shoulders or triceps working more, something is wrong with your execution. If you're over 40 or 50 years old and your gym has an incline fly machine available, I would recommend you perform this exercise on the machine to avoid the risk of any injury. One of the most common mistakes I see is using weights that are too heavy, which transforms the exercise into a hybrid movement between fly and press. Remember, The fly isn't for lifting maximum weight, it's for creating maximum tension in the chest. Use a weight that allows you to maintain perfect form for 10 to 12 repetitions. Another frequent mistake is completely extending the elbows, which transfers tension to the joints and can cause injuries. Always maintain that slight bend in the elbows from start to finish of the movement. For ideal results, 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions, with rest time of 90 to 120 seconds between sets. Exercise 2. High cable crossover. Our second exercise is the high cable crossover, which perfectly complements the work started with the incline dumbbell fly. The high cable crossover has the advantage of maintaining constant tension throughout the entire movement. Unlike free weight exercises, where resistance varies according to position, this means every fiber of your upper and middle chest will be under stimulus from start to finish of the repetition, maximizing definition and width gains. When you observe a truly impressive physique, you notice that distinct separation between muscles, especially between the chest and anterior deltoid. This separation isn't just a matter of low body fat percentage, but also proper development of each muscle group. The high cable crossover specializes in creating this definition that gives the chest that sculpted look. To perform correctly, start by positioning yourself between 2 pulleys adjusted above shoulder height. Hold a handle in each hand and take a step forward, maintaining a slight forward lean of the torso, about 15 degrees. This lean is fundamental to ensure the chest, not the deltoids, is the protagonist of the movement. Start with your arms open in a position similar to a T, with a slight bend in the elbows that should be maintained throughout the exercise. This is a maximum stretch position for the chest fibers. Now, in a fluid movement, bring your hands down and forward, as if you were hugging a large ball. The crucial point is that at the end of the movement, your hands should cross slightly, the right hand passing over the left in one repetition and alternating in the next repetition. This crossing is what gives the exercise its name and is essential to achieve maximum chest contraction. You'll know you're doing it right when you feel an intense contraction in the inner part of your chest at the moment your hands cross, and a stretching sensation on the sides of your chest when your arms are open. If you feel more work in your shoulders than in your chest, you're probably using excessive weight or not maintaining the slight torso lean, a technical detail that makes all the difference. During the movement, keep your elbows slightly higher than your wrists. This small nuance makes the chest work at a greater range, maximizing stimulus in the lateral fibers that give that impressive width. The most common mistakes I observe in this exercise include using body momentum to move the weight, which drastically reduces effectiveness, and not completing the movement until the hands cross, losing maximum contraction. Another frequent mistake is keeping the elbows completely extended, which can cause joint stress and reduce focus on the chest. Something many don't realize is the importance of foot position during the exercise. Your feet should be in a stable position, one slightly ahead of the other, like in a fencing position. This solid base allows you to focus completely on chest contraction, without worrying about balance. To get the best results, do 4 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions, using a weight that allows you to maintain perfect technique. The ideal rest time is 90 to 120 seconds between sets. This exercise works best with higher repetitions to stimulate not only the type 2 strength fibers, but also the type 1 endurance fibers, which are crucial for that dense and detailed look. Focus on the eccentric phase of the movement, controlling the speed as your arms open. This stretching phase under tension is where much of the growth stimulus occurs, especially for chest width. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to science-based information is what will make you progress with health in the long term in the world of bodybuilding. Exercise 3. Flat dumbbell press. While the first 2 exercises focused more on width and the upper part, the dumbbell press will magnificently work the overall thickness and depth of the chest, with emphasis on the middle region. What makes the flat dumbbell press superior to the barbell press for our goal of width and definition is the freedom of movement. With dumbbells, you can naturally adjust the movement trajectory to be more suitable for your body structure. In addition to being able to lower the dumbbells more deeply, achieving greater stretch than the barbell. Additionally, each side works independently, which eliminates imbalances and asymmetries, a common problem that compromises chest aesthetics. There's no point having a large chest if one side is more developed than the other, right? And believe me, this is more common than it seems. There's another fascinating biomechanical aspect here. When we use dumbbells, the movement follows the natural pattern of humeral adduction, which is the main function of the pectoralis major. This more natural movement pattern not only maximizes muscle activation, but also significantly reduces joint stress, allowing more intense training with less injury risk. To perform the flat dumbbell press correctly, lie on a flat bench with a dumbbell in each hand, positioned beside your chest, with elbows bent and pointing outward. Your palms should be facing forward. This starting position already puts the chest in pre-activation, different from the barbell press. When pushing the dumbbells upward, don't push them in a straight vertical line. Instead, allow them to follow a natural arc, starting wider at chest level and approaching, without touching, at the top of the movement. This arc respects the natural biomechanics of the chest, which works mainly to adduct the arms. At the top of the movement, focus on squeezing your chest for 1 second, as if you were trying to bring the chest muscles together in the center. This isometric contraction, at the point of greatest mechanical advantage, is powerful for stimulating the deepest chest fibers. When lowering, control the movement and allow the dumbbells to descend in an arc until they're beside your chest, in a slightly lower position than the barbell press. A crucial aspect few pay attention to: the position of your torso on the bench. Keep your scapulae retracted and depressed, creating a stable base and a slight natural arch in the lower back region. This position not only protects your spine, but also optimizes the working angle of the chest. You'll know you're doing it right when you feel your chest completely controlling the movement, with a stretching sensation in the lateral and lower part of your chest at the lowest point, and a firm and complete contraction in the center of your chest at the highest point. If your shoulders are elevated or you feel your triceps more than your chest, adjust your technique. A common mistake is letting the elbows open too much to the sides, which places unnecessary stress on the shoulders. Keep your elbows at approximately 45 to 70 degrees relative to your torso. This angle protects the shoulders and maximizes chest activation. For this exercise, 4 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions with rest time of 90 to 120 seconds between sets. The weight should be challenging, but always allowing you to maintain perfect technique. This is an exercise where you can progress consistently in load, which is fundamental for muscle density development. Another golden tip for hypertrophy. In this exercise, after reaching concentric failure, when you can no longer complete the full movement, perform 3 to 5 additional repetitions only in the upper half of the movement. This technique, known as partials, creates additional stimulus in the already fatigued fibers, leading to surprising gains in muscle density. Exercise 4. Decline push-up. Our fourth and final exercise is the decline push-up, which will intensely work the upper part of the chest, completing the 3-dimensional development we're seeking. This exercise has the advantage of being doable anywhere, without sophisticated equipment. In the decline push-up, your feet are elevated relative to your hands, which shifts the center of gravity and significantly increases the load on the upper portion of the chest. To perform correctly, start by positioning your feet on a bench, box, or stable platform that's approximately 12 to 24 inches high. The higher the platform, the more intense the upper chest activation will be, but start with a moderate height if you're a beginner. Position your hands on the floor at a distance slightly wider than shoulder width, a technical detail that makes all the difference. Hand rotation. Try to rotate your hands slightly outward, with fingers pointing slightly to the sides and not completely forward. This external rotation increases upper chest activation and creates a more direct line of tension with the clavicular fibers. Now, keeping your body straight like a plank from heels to head, lower in a controlled manner until your chest almost touches the floor. At this point, you should feel an intense stretch in the upper fibers of your chest. To rise, push the floor while consciously contracting the upper chest, as if you were pushing not just upward, but also slightly forward. You'll know you're doing it right when you feel an intense burning in the upper part of your chest, near the clavicles. Your scapulae should separate slightly at the lowest point and come together at the top. If you feel more work in your triceps or shoulders, your hands are probably too far apart or too close to your body. A common mistake is letting your hips drop or rise, losing body alignment. This reduces upper chest activation and can overload the lower back region. Always keep your body straight, engaging your core throughout the movement. Another frequent mistake is not going down enough, going only halfway through the complete potential stretch. Remember, full range of motion is fundamental for complete muscle development. A third mistake I constantly see is head position. Keep your neck neutral as a natural continuation of the spine, looking at a point on the floor slightly ahead of your hands. For those who find the exercise initially too difficult, a useful progression is to start with knees on the floor and feet crossed in the air. As you gain strength, evolve to the full version. For optimal results, 4 sets to muscular failure. Yes, in this specific exercise, going to failure is extremely effective for stimulating the most resistant muscle fibers of the upper chest. If you're already advanced, you can add extra resistance with weight on your back. Another advanced variation is performing repetitions with a pause at the lowest point, holding the position for 2 to 3 seconds before rising. With these 4 exercises and working the chest twice a week, always allowing 48 to 72 hours of recovery between workouts, there's no mistake. It will just be a matter of time until you have a wide and toned chest. Bonus tip: creatine. To enhance the results of these 4 strategic exercises, consider including creatine in your supplementation. Creatine monohydrate is one of the most researched and scientifically proven supplements for increasing strength and muscle hypertrophy. It works by increasing phosphocreatine levels in muscles, which raises your capacity to produce adenosine triphosphate, the energy molecule that fuels your muscle contractions during intense workouts. In practice, this means you'll be able to perform more repetitions with heavier loads, resulting in much greater stimulus for muscle growth. Additionally, creatine helps increase cellular volumization, providing that muscle congestion we so desire. Your muscles become fuller and denser, which directly contributes to the appearance of width we're seeking in the chest. However, if you decide to start taking creatine, you need to be aware that there are 10 serious mistakes most people make when taking the supplement, transforming something beneficial into something potentially harmful to the body. I've left a video appearing now on the screen showing and explaining each of these mistakes in detail. Don't miss it. Thank you for watching until here, and may God bless you, my friend.